Introducing the Goliath Gangers, Marduk's Marauders. We have their leader Marduk, his two champions, Enil, which is a Forge Master, and Nabu, which is a Stimmer. We have two normal gangers, one of them a specialist, Nana, with a grenade launcher, the other has a bolt gun, and then two Juves, Inu and Boa. For the Dalak, we have the Third Eye Trinity, so named for the three psychic leaders. We have Black Lotus, being the Master of Shadow, our two champions, Hypnos and Pyros. Lotus has Technomancy, Hypnos has Telepathy, and Pyros, of course, has Pyromancy. Moving into the Gangers, we have Kinos with a web gun, Lampsey with an auto gun, Makari with an auto pistol and a knife, and then Morpheon with two stub guns. So this is a narrative game, and the way we'll be playing it is we'll have a roll-off for this first turn. The winner will get to pick to be the attacker in one of three scenarios. The second place, again, will get to be the attacker in one of three scenarios. And then for the two remaining gangs, they have to choose to be the defender in order in opposing those attackers. So we're doing the roll-off. First up is Marduk's Marauders. Rolling a flesh wound, so definitely not taking the win on the roll-off. Getting a 1. Next up, the Enforcers. Getting a 2. We're starting strong here. Going with the Third Eye Trinity, getting a 6, and the Chaos Helots getting a 1. So roll off now between Marduk and the Chaos Helots. We got a 3 and a 4. So last will be the Helots. First will be the Third Eye Trinity with the lock. So the way it rolled out, and after selection, the Dalak chose Map Fragment Recovery, which is an Archeo Hunters scenario, and they will be going up against the Goliath. And the Enforcers chose Rescue the Treasure Hunter, which is a public execution from the Necromunda Apocrypha book, and they will be going up against the Chaos Helots, which will be trying to execute that treasure hunter. There we are with the table set. The Trinity has a specialist ready there. They have infiltrated up next to the automaton in order to get the jump on the enemy. They've got a couple more gangers down on the bottom. Waiting, coming up the flank, is a champion with a Juve. In the shadows, we have their waiting Noctgul. Opposing them, we have the Goliath Gangers forming a line ready to rush towards the center and access the vault. Let's start turn 1. So we're starting off turn 1 with a roll for priority. The Trinity got a 2. And the Goliath Marduk's Marauders get a 1. So Trinity will have first action. So starting things off, we have an activation from Black Lotus. She's immediately going to make an intelligence check, trying to activate the automata, and with a 5, I believe she fails. So, with her second action, she's going to try that again. Intelligence check, 6+, she fails again. Clearly, she has not been doing her readings. Marduk is going to do a group activation with him and his Juve next to him, and they are both going to double move up. To put the back area of the board under threat. On the far flank, Hypnos is going to group activate with his Juve. She's going to move up and open the door. And Hypnos is going to move up to the door and then through. In the back here we have Goliath Stimmer activating along with his Juve friend, and they are advancing to cover down on the opening of the vault. They are both going to double move to get into position, hiding safely and bravely behind a barricade. Down here, the Juve Morpheon is going to activate, and he is going to move up, and he is going to try an intelligence check to open the loot box. He's going to fail. Over here, the Forge boss is going to group activate Enlil along with Ashok, and they are both going to move up, advancing up the stairs. Down here, Kinos is going to activate, and he, not wanting to be useless, is going to move up, and he too is going to try and open the loot box. Passes his intelligence check, and on a d6 causes a frag trap and immediately blows himself up along with Morpheon. So the 5-inch blast obviously hits both of them. It's going to be 2 strength, 3 hits. First on Morpheon, and not wounding. Second on Kinos, not wounding. But they are both knocked prone as the loot crate explodes. Not a good day so far for the block. Last activation is the champion for the Goliath. He is going to activate, and he's going to move up and possibly take a shot. Nope, he's going to double move.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not to be outdone in the back. Activating here. And moving up with the web gun into position to either horribly die or possibly take someone out. Here we are at the start of turn 2. We have Marduk and his buddy coming up. We have one Dalakganger with a web gun waiting to ambush them. At the center we have Trinity leader, Black Lotus, trying vainly to activate before the rest of Marduk's marauders come bum rushing the vault, ready to take over. In the back we have a couple Dalak members sneaking around to get into position, and down on the ground, Morpheon and Lampsey knocked prone by a blasted loot crate. Go into the priority roll for turn 2. Camera. Rolling off. Dalak will take priority. Once again, trying to get something going over here. We have an activation from Black Lotus. She is going to attempt,
If you can pick up the token.
if I can pick up the token, which I probably can't, an intelligence check. Once again, trying to beat a 6. Hey, she successfully activates him with a simple action. Next up, because she is very brave and all that, she's going to move over and open the back door so that she and her new friend can get out and go open the vault right over here. Quick correction, she can't move and open the door. She can just move next to the door. And that's her second action. So over here, Nana is going to fire his grenade launcher, firing at the poor, unfortunate Lampsey.
No, it looks like 13 inches.
Yeah, he definitely has range. He is aiming. His BS is normally 4. There's no modifier for the range, so he's hitting on a 3 with an ammo check as well. Ammo die as well. He does miss. He is not out of ammo. So now we roll the scatter die. Scattering off that direction. D6. So it would be 6, however, it just hits the wall here and still detonates. So, dropping the small blast, still going to hit Lampsey. It is strength 3, so rolling to wound Lampsey. Toughness 3, fails to wound. Lampsey is already prone, so poor guy is about to get it. Lampsey, not liking being shot at, will activate. He will stand up and, not really wanting to be charged, but also wanting to support his friends, he's going to move up here so he has cover behind him. So we have a group activation from Marduk, as well as playing Get 'em, which grants 2 inches to the movement characteristic of Marduk and his companion. So these two are just both going to move up. They're going to double move. That extra 2 allows them to move 12 inches on this activation. Hi.
4.
No. Yeah.
8.
Hi.
9. Put them there.
Perfectly positioned for a webgun, which will now activate.
Coward.
And flame template.
Coward.
Indeed. That's what Delac are, is complete cowards. They're both immediately pinned. And then rolling to wound. Oh, I need to do an ammo check. Ammo check is good. Rolling to wound the first guy, which is Boa. Successfully wounds him, so he goes down webbed. And rolling to wound Marduk. Does not wound him, but he does go down pinned. So he will not be pumping me in the face with a lovely power hammer at this time. So we have a group activation over here from the Stimmer. And he and his Juve buddy are going to come in closer.
5 that way, and then 3 that way.
So getting very close to the Delac champion, and also guarding the vault to make it harder to move in. Down here, Machari activates. She is going to move up her full move of 6. She's moving up 3, 6, which puts her in a position to fire into the Goliath Stimmer, hoping to knock him down. She is ballistic skill 5. She does hit, and with the auto pistol hits 3 times, which is incredibly surprising. So, rolling to wound him. She is strength 3 with the auto pistol. The toughness of the Stimmer is 4, so she's going to need 5s. No wounds, but he does get knocked prone and pinned. Over here we have a group activation again from the Forge Boss. We have a double move from the Forge Boss, moving up 4, and then moving an additional 4. Blocking the way for the robot. Then we have an activation over here. He moves up 4 to the ladder on the far side, and then climbs the ladder to the top, getting ready to either shoot down at me or open the loot box, whichever occurs to him to do as a Goliath. Down here we have the automaton activate, moves up to the door and opens it. And then he powers down again, so we'll have another intelligence check shortly to try and get him moving, which is unfortunate. Last activation we have down here. Morphian activates, stands up, and he has no line of sight to anyone, so he is going to climb using all of his movement to reach the top. Down here we have an activation from Hypnos, and he is going to activate and move to the side here. He's going to try a shot with his shotgun up at Enlil. Let's see if he has line of sight. Firing solid shot. It's 12-inch range, so I'm at long range. Needing a 3 to hit normally, goes up to 5 to hit because hard cover. Does not hit, no ammo check required. Appearing out of the shadows at the start of the next turn before the roll for priority, we have Pyros in position for a rear charge on these two, assuming he doesn't get swatted by somebody out here with all their weapons. Roll for priority. Goliath win the tie. So Goliath will take priority and have first activation. So we're going to have a group activation again from Marduk and his Juve companion Boa, who had rolled over with a flesh wound, ripping the free from the webbing. They are both going to stand up. So down here, Marduk is going to move back and up the ladder in position to come down in here and ruin people's days, while Boa is bravely going to move 1 inch out and hold the line against the web gun. Down here we are going to have an activation from Morpheum. He is going to move up to the corner and bravely fire into the champion for the Goliath. With his bonus due to stub gun, he does hit, needing a 5 to wound. He does wound, so that will be an armor save from the Goliath champion, who is facing the wrong direction. So therefore he'll get a 6-up save. And he would have failed that even if he was facing the right way, which obviously he was before he got knocked prone. So we have a group activation down here from Nabu, along with his little buddy Inyu. Nabu is going to stand up and then move up the stairs, and then drawing closer to this automaton. And we have a charge down here from Inyu going at Marachi with the D3. Gets 2, so a total of 6 inches. That should put Inyu within base contact. Inyu is a Juve, but still has weapon skill 4. He's rolling to hit. He needs 4s to hit. He has an axe and a stub pistol. He scores 1 hit with an axe. Strength with that axe is a 5, so he needs a 3 to wound. Does not wound. Marachi is very surprised by this event. She is going to fight back with a auto pistol and her toxic dagger. She does hit with the dagger, which is surprising to everyone. Rolling to wound, needs to beat his toughness. Does not wound. Alright, so we have a activation from Pyros. Do a 6-inch move, and is going to attempt to do a psychic power flame blast. With pyromancy, manages to fail. I'm going to go ahead and play my tactics card, Disquieting Susurration, which allows a single reroll, but I'm stuck with whatever the result is. And pass, nearly perils. That would have been really bad, but he now has Blaze on his sword. So up here, Ashok is going to activate and bravely shoot down at the leader for the block. It is close range. So rolling to hit with his bolt gun. He does have a +1 from range. Does score 2 hits on her, which is very unfortunate for me. Rolling to wound. That's 2 wounds. Bolter is AP 1. She has mesh armor, so this will go to a 6-up save. She does not pass either of them. The first one knocks down 2 wounds. The second one does 2 injury die. So she is out of action. So Black Lotus takes a bolt gun to the head and goes down. So, immediately rolling the d66 for Black Lotus. She gets a 34, which I believe is Convalescence. We'll check that. With his second action as a simple action, Ashok is going to try and intelligently open the box. Ashok's on a roll, apparently. So he opens the box, he rolls a d6 to see what's in it. 4. Well, down here, seeing her leader go down, we are going to drop a web template again on Boa. Can't hit both on both levels, so only going to hit Boa with that web template. Ammo check first. Ammo check is good. Rolling to knock Boa down. Does not web Boa, but she does get knocked down. She'll just be getting up again, so these two are probably trapped in an eternal dance for all eternity. Morphean also was within 3 inches, just checked it, so Morphean has to test to see if he's broken as he watches his leader get shot in the face with a bolt gun. With 7, Morphean's pool is 7, so Morphean did not care that she just got shot in the face with a bolt gun, so we're good there. We have an activation over here from Nana with the grenade launcher. Again, firing down here at Lampsey, who's already hit once. Lampsey's got a habit of being blown up. See how he does. That is a definite miss. Rolling the scatter die now to see where it goes. Plus d6 coming back. d6. Probably, but roll it anyway. 5. Oh, that would have been a nice scatter, but unfortunately, it just hits this corner. We got a 3-inch blast, roughly. Yay. Catches him, and strength 3, toughness 3, so needing a 4 to wound. No wound. So does knock Lampsey over again. He's now prone behind cover, just the way he would like to be in real life. And that is their activation. Next activation, we are going to do an activation from Hypnos down here, and he is going to move his 3 inches this way and another 2 inches this way. That puts him in position to cast Mind Control, and he is going to attempt a Mind Control. Rolling his 2d6. Nearly perils it again, but he does get that one off. And he has a 9-inch range for that. He is trying to get young, I can't remember his name, Nano, to fire a grenade launcher up here at his friends. Let's see if that's successful. So firing his blast with a frag grenade. Ammo check, so he'll have to do an ammo check for his frag grenades, which he fails, so he's now out of ammo, which is fantastic, and he did score a hit on a 5. So, going directly over to our good companion over here. Actually, no, his ballistic skill is 4, right? And you're in cover, so that would be a scatter. So, scattering. Yeah, it's just a 2-inch scatter right into the wall here. So, detonates, still gets him, knocks him down. Strength 3, toughness 4.
4, yeah.
So, needing a 5 to wound. Does not wound, but it does knock him prone. He does have an initiative test to avoid falling because he is within 1 inch of the wall. So, rolling his initiative test. What's his initiative?
3.
So he fails his initiative test, immediately falls. It's not far enough to cause any damage, but he is prone on the ground. This is going to be an interesting turn here in a moment. Over here, the Forge Boss is activating. Standing up. Does not have a gun, has to stay 1 inch out from an enemy, and Morphean is very frightened. Down here, I'm going to activate, and he is going to shoot down at the grenade launcher, hoping to knock him prone so we're not facing any charges. It is not short range, so needing a 4 to hit. Does not hit. Ammo check required. Passes the ammo check. So Marachi is going to activate now. Last activation of the round. She is going to make a knife and pistol attack. She does hit with the knife. Toxin does wound. AP 1 on that. Penetrates his armor. Going to the first first injury die roll for the Dalak. And puts him out of action. So down goes poor young Inu. So rolling Inu's out of action. He got a 52. So Inu takes an enfeeblement. His toughness characteristic decreases by 1 for the remainder of the campaign. That's a hard blow for a Juve. Both gangs are having to roll bottle checks here at the end of the turn. On a roll of a 6, the Goliath will bottle. Goliath bottle. On the roll of a 6, Dalak will bottle. Dalak don't bottle. So the Goliath now have to roll cool checks, starting with their leader. Marduk can pass, and anyone within 12 will also pass. So, what's his cool?
4+.
Okay, yeah, he's good. Moving over to the next guy, he's fine. He's within 12. We have the Forge Boss rolling for him. He is good. Rolling for the Stimmer, and that should pass for everyone else over in this area. He should also be good with that.
Yeah.
So, Goliath are good, although they have bottle, they will suffer a -1 to rep for the remainder of the campaign. Alright, we have the roll for priority. Oh, that's not good. We're going to go ahead and play Deceit and immediately reverse that priority roll. That's my second tactics card. So priority goes to Dalak. How fortuitous. So down here, Morphean's got to make a name for himself. He's got to down that guy, or else Dalak gang is in a bad way. He is going to do what no one in his circumstance should do and go guns akimbo, firing both his stub pistols at point blank range. If you're ever in this situation, it is probably the worst possible thing you could do, but he's not a very bright person. So firing 2 guns at once brings his weapon skill up to 5+, but they're both stub guns, so they have a -2. So he's hitting on 3s at close range. That would be... Oh, I rolled 2 ammo die. That's the problem there. Rolling that second ammo die. That's a whole lot of nothing. That's not a good day for him. So, alas, poor Morphean, you are not long for this roll. To no one's great surprise, we have an activation from our good friend here, Enlil. He is going to charge Morphean, swinging his... What's he armed with again?
Renderizer.
Ooh, Renderizer. Swinging... He's got 2 base attacks, 3 attacks on the charge, hitting on 3s.
Yeah.
That would be 2 hits. Strength is
7.
Yeah. So wounding on 2s. What's the AP on that?
Renderizer AP 1.
And the damage?
2.
Okay, so damage 2. He only had 1 wound, so that's 3 injury dice being rolled. Sorry, 4 injury dice being rolled. Fatality. Alright. So down goes Morphean. He tried. He was not very bright, but he tried. Rolling his D66. We got a 52. He also is enfeebled. Bad day for Morphean. On the other hand, Enlil just got 2 XP for taking a guy out of action. However, he is also tempered in battle, so he gains an additional XP for taking a fighter out of action. And he gained Fearsome. That's pretty nasty.
Mm-hmm.
And in true fashion, Lampsey is going to now take his cool check for seeing someone horribly dismembered right in front of his eyes. And with a cool of 6+, 6+, he is good to go with the 7. Down here, Kinos is going to activate. And she's not afraid of no one, so she's going to bravely target up here to knock down Marduk in the vain hope of preventing him from going to reinforce that side. Ammo check is good. Needs a 5+ to take him down. Does get him webbed. So he is webbed face down. He's not activated yet. He does have an initiative check because he was up on a platform to see if he falls. He does pass that, but he is webbed up here. Down here we have an activation from the specialist. It's going to move up. Nana is going to move up 4, and another 4, threatening poor Lampsey with his knife because his grenade launcher's out of ammo. But knowing him as a Goliath ganger, he's probably going to try and bludgeon him in the head with the empty grenade launcher. Down here we are going to do a group activation. Up first, moving 6 inches. She is going to move and then with her second action shoot into the back of the Goliath champion. Close range, so she has a +1. She is BS 5, so going down to a 4. She does score 1 hit, knocking him down. Strength 3, toughness 5, so needing a 5 to wound, fails to wound. But it does knock him down, and hopefully on his back, hopefully enabling... Oh, he did fall, though, within 1 inch of a table edge, or edge, so he does have to do an initiative check, which he fails, and he immediately falls to the next level. It's a 2.5 inch fall. So with the fall, he does take a single strength 3 hit, needing a 5 to wound. Does not wound him, but he is down in the alleyway right in front of a very terrified Lampsey. Over here, we have the other part of the group activation with Hypnos moving up and using mind control on Ashok. Doing a will check and failing the will check, but not suffering a peril for work, thankfully. Ashok will activate, and he is going to fire down at Hypnos, a little annoyed by the attempts to mess with him. From that angle, he does have cover. He has a -1 from that, +1 from the accuracy. He needed a 4, so he does not hit. So down here, bravely aiming and shooting into the Goliath ganger right in front of him, we have Lampsey.
Standing up or laying down?
He is going to aim at the standing ganger. Thankfully, he does hit. He hits 3 times. That aim helping out tremendously right there. He is toughness 4, strength 3, so needing 5s. That's 2 injuries, or 2 wounds rather. So 2 armor saves of 5+ with his forge plate. Fails them both. So going into 2 injury dice. This could be really big. That's seriously injured twice, which means 1 becomes a flesh wound. So he's taking a flesh wound. He is face down. This alleyway of death is brutal, and it's gonna get worse here soon. Activating the leader, he can crawl 2.5 inches, or sorry, 2 inches, because he has move 4, so half. Trying to get away. That takes us to the last Delak activation. Activating here. And charging bravely. Don't have to roll it into the Stimmer, who stands up. This could be a bad move because the Stimmer still hasn't activated, but Delak didn't really have another choice. They're down several fighters. So, first off, rolling to hit. 3 attacks, weapon skill 3, well, base 2, extra 1 for charging, hitting on 3s, 2 hits. That is really good. He needed that. Both have the blaze characteristic, so on a 4+, lighting him on fire, so that no matter what, the stimmer is now on fire. The strength of this attack is strength 5, because base strength 4, and then +1 from the shiver blade. So wounding on 3s, and that would be 1 wound at -1 AP. Failing that does 1 damage. I believe he has 2 wounds, so he is up on his feet and gets to attack back, unfortunately. He has base 3 attacks, so he will get his 3 attacks. He does not get paired because he didn't charge, so Stimmer's attack back. Hitting on 3s, so only scoring 1 hit. Apparently he's a little preoccupied with being on fire. Rolling to wound. He does wound. AP is 1. Going on mesh armor first with a 5-up, going to a 6-up. Failed, and then the dodge save from Pyros also failed. So Pyros takes a wound. The battle of the game thus far in close combat. Clearly a lot of people watching and waiting. Next activation, Goliath, activate Boa. She is going to stand up. And is she going to throw her grenade?
Yeah.
She is going to bravely chuck her photon flash grenade, trying to drop it right behind, needing a 5 to hit, plus an ammo die. Well, grenades. She does hit. Roll a reload. Because grenades are automatically... Sorry, failed the ammo. Or automatically have to do an ammo check. It's a d6. And then the reload for... It's a d6. So she's good on the ammo reload for the photon flash grenade. Down here... Kinos is flashed and will not get an action next round, which is really, really bad for Kino. Real quick, Enlil did have a panic check, passes with a 6, because his buddy just got gut shot in front of him. And then we have the final activation from the Stimmer, as he activates and decides to try to murderize Pyros. Swinging in, 3 attacks again. Hitting on 3s, scores 2 hits. This could be enough. Wounds on 2s. Does roll 2 wounds. AP is 1, so 2 6-up saves. Both failed, and then 2 dodge 6-ups. Both failed. So that goes into 1 injury die being rolled, because that takes 1 wound. Or sorry, 2 injury dice being rolled. And... it's a bad day for Delok. It's a bad day. Alright, rolling the lasting injury table. It's just a 15. He's just knocked out. So, not too bad. Delok are hanging in there. Rolling the injury die for webbed for the Goliath leader. He stays down webbed for the turn, which is good news for the Delok. Over here, down on the ground, we have Nana. Rolling his serious injury die, remains seriously injured, takes another flesh wound because he does not have anyone there to provide assistance, because his boss is knocked down. He's prone and pinned and not standing and active. So then we have cool checks, and we'll have first a bottle check for the Delak, because they have 3 fighters out of action. They have 4 fighters remaining on the table. They need to get a 3 or less. They need to get a 2 or less. Nope, so they're going to bottle. So that's automatically -1 leadership, or -1 rep for the Delok. Starting over here with our flash blinded friend, doing his cool check of 7. That means that Kinos is sticking in it. Although that may not be the smart decision because Kinos is blinded. Down here we have Lampsey, who's been having a bad day anyway. Lampsey is sticking around. We have Hypnos, who does great with an 8. And lastly, we have Machari, who's actually been doing pretty good. She's taken somebody out. Machari, though, Machari can use Hypnos' 6-inch bonus, so Machari is still here. They both do, however, have cool checks to be broken after seeing someone taken out within 3. Good. And for Machari, on the other hand, will start the round broken. So rolling the cool checks for Goliath, starting with Marduk. He is more than good. He's having a great time, even though he's stuck to the floor. He keeps Ashok up, but over in the corner we have the Stimmer rolling his. Stimmer is good, barely, with a 6. And then lastly, just over 6 inches away, we have Enlil rolling his cool.
On a 5. Good.
Yeah, Enlil is fine as well. About to roll off for priority. Of note, Machari did pass her cool check to recover, gaining 1 XP. So right now, for the Dalak, she's actually doing the best of everyone in the game, which is probably not saying much. All right, so rolling for priority. Goliath had it last turn. Dalak, however, roll a 1, so there's no coming back from that. So Goliath with priority going into round 4 of this crazy battle. Down here, the Stimmer activates, and he is going to do an immediate charge going into Machari.
Yeah, Machari.
Doesn't have to roll for it, he's close enough. Is going to get a ridiculous number of attacks. Rolling 7 attacks with his paired renderizers. Is that what they are?
Renderizers. Can you hand me 2?
No, I refuse. There you go. Hitting on 3s. This is a wow. He's apparently a little slow here. 50-50 there. And wounding on 2s, I believe. What's his strength? 5?
Strength will be
it matters.
5, yes.
So you needed 3s, yeah, because it's not double. So that's 2 wounds. AP is 1. She only had flak armor, so straight into injury dice. How many damage is that?
1 apiece.
Okay, so 2 injury die. You do critically injure her. She goes face down. You can do a free coup de grace, but it leaves you standing there.
That's fine.
Okay. So she goes down. Give me a red die. Or just spilled dice everywhere. That works too. Going ahead and doing a lasting injury roll for her. D66. 14. She's just knocked out. Apparently that Stimmer likes knocking people out. Not so big on the actually murderifying. Hypnos just had Machari knocked down right behind him. Has to do a cool check. Passes with a 7 and is not going to panic. That's good. Hypnos is going to activate, turn, and fire a shotgun point blank. Solid slug into the Stimmer, hitting on a 2 for close range, rolling the fatal 1, and failing to do anything. Not a good day for Hypnos. He should probably take the mind control. Activation from Boa. She is going to charge into the flash blinded Dalak Ganger here. Kinos. 2 attacks on the charge with the axe, hitting on 3s. Hits once, or actually, she's a Juve, right? It's on 4s. So it does not manage to hit. The very flash blinded Kinos is going to flail back, trying to hit, and actually scores a hit. Your toughness there with Bow is 4, strength 3, so needing 5 to wound. Does not wound. Last activation for Dalak. They're not doing so great. Going to activate, climb up, and shoot down into the prone Goliath champion. It is close range, so hitting on a 3. Ammo check required, does score a hit. Ammo check is good. Needing a 5 to wound. Does not wound, so it doesn't do anything. Not looking good. And Lil is going to activate, and he's going to stand to provide some medical support much needed to his friend and prepare to charge anything that happens to be left over here next turn.
Aim.
Ashok is going to aim his bolt gun. It's still hard cover, so hitting on a 4+, does not manage to score a hit. And the leader, Marduk, activates and is going to crawl this way. So up first, recovery rolls. Marduk rolling an injury die to see if he manages to unentangle himself. Does roll over with just a flesh wound. Over here, 2 injury dice being rolled for Nana. Picking the one that he wants. He remains down but does not take a flesh wound. Bottle checks needing to be taken. At this point, doing a bottle check for Kinos. For the does pass with an 8. Doing a bottle check for Hypnos. Hypnos also passes his bottle check. Rolling for the leader, for the Marduk, Goliath. He's good. 12-inch bubble manages to get 3 of their gangers. Rolling now for Enlil. He's good. And the Stimmer last, needing a 3+. Is fine, even on 1 die. Going into the roll for priority. Goliath will win the tie, so Dalak will win the tie, rather, because Goliath had it first, so Dalak actually win. They need that win. We're going to come back once we know what the Dalak are actually going to do, besides run away. Hypnos is going to load up solid shot in his shotgun and shoot directly into the Stimmer, hoping to take him down. Close range, hitting on a 2+. There we go. I'll take it. Close is just good. So that knocks him down, so he won't be able to charge. Does it wound? Strength 4, toughness 4, so needing a 4. Doesn't wound him, but does knock him down, so he will not be charging this go. With a second action, he will move up 3 and then over 3. Positioning himself to hopefully get over to this robot, turn it on, and kill somebody with it. So Marduk, finally free of the webbing, is going to stand up and move a whopping 4 inches, getting ready to come down the stairs and mess up everyone's day. That's Goliath I want to. Down here, Lampsey is going to activate. He is going to aim down and shoot at Enlil. He is going to need a 3 to hit. He scores 3 hits, which is fantastic, knocking Enlil down. He will, however, need a 5 wound. Does score 1 wound, 1 injury die, or sorry, 1 armor save for Enlil. Does fail the armor save. That's his 2nd wound. Does Enlil only have 2 wounds?
Yep.
That's an injury die being rolled. Enlil. And Enlil goes down seriously injured. That was the lucky break that we all knew. That would be their activation, and that's now going over to Goliath. That's a huge turn of events that the Dalak really needed, because things were looking pretty grim over here. So Ashok is going to activate, and he's going to move down in position where next turn he will be able to charge or shoot the beleaguered Dalak. Going to try a withdraw action from Kinos. Does pass the initiative check and moves 6 inches back as a simple action, and with Basic action, second action, firing the Weber into her attacker. Doing the ammo check first to see if it's out of ammo. Ammo check is good. Rolling to web, does web, and Boa goes down webbed. That was needed as well. She did only get a 4-inch move. We checked the retreat rule. And the Boa did do a initiative check to try and get an attack and failed that initiative check, so she was able to do nothing as the Weber Delac withdrew, or retreated rather. Delac activations are done. Remaining activations now. Goliath with their stimmer activates, stands up, and moves 4 inches up. Coming over here to help out his 2 downed allies. That is all for remaining activations. They're going to crawl down the alleyway of death 2.5 inches, or sorry, 2 inches each. So that wraps up round number 4. It's been a bloody fight. Oh, and crawl 2 inches.
Yeah.
Face down, webbed. Towards me, I can coup de grace her.
Oh, no.
She gonna crawl away from me?
I guess.
She only gets 2 inches, so she's here, so she goes here,
Yeah.
basically. Alright. We'll go into the end of the round in recovery rolls.
That's a wound die, right?
Yep, wound die, web roll for Boa. Rolls over with flesh wound. She's now taken 2 flesh wounds from being webbed. Down here, we do have a fighter within 3 of the Grenadier, so 2 injury dice being rolled. It's going to get up with no injury at all. Still at 2 flesh wounds, so toughness 2. Enlil, though, is too far back for that 3-inch, so rolling 1 flesh wound, stays down, seriously injured, taking a flesh wound, but he has iron hard, so he'll still, or iron skin, so he'll still treat that as being toughness 5, I think he has.
Yeah.
So he would have to take another 4 flesh wounds before he would go out of action.
Or dermal hardening is what it's called.
We'll now roll cool checks. Up first with Marduk, rolling for his whole 12-inch radius. Marduk is gold. Over here, rolling for the Stimmer. His 3+, he's good all day, and his 6-inch bubble covers everyone. Going for the Delac, they're in a tough place. Kinos, cool check. Kinos is golden. Kinos didn't like any of those guys anyway. And then rolling for Hypnos. Hypnos says, I'm sticking around, but only barely. And then we go into the next round, round 5. Alright, rolling for priority. Goliath will win a tie. Ooh, it was close, but Delac will take the lead. This is going to be a critical turn, and we're going to have a group activation first thing from this champion. Hypnos group activates. First things first, we are going to do a flying elbow from the brave Lampsey. He's going to do an initiative check on his charge, hoping not to injure himself, and failing. So he falls prone, immediately ending his activation. That didn't go as planned, but that's life. I was hoping to coup de grace. It's not meant to be. Instead, he's going to turn and fire his shotgun directly into Ashok, hoping to avenge his fallen leader of the Trinity. Does score a hit. It is strength 4 versus toughness 4. That is a wound. AP -1. Makes his save, so knocked prone and nothing else. That's unfortunate. That takes us into the first activation for the Goliath. Up here we have an activation from Marduk, who is going to activate, and he's trying to get down into the action. So he's going to move his full 8, moving down, lining up future horrible maiming and killing over in this corner. Next activation, only remaining Dalak activation because they are very low on people. Moving up and bravely webbing that unfortunate boa. Ammo check first. Hey, we're still good. And then rolling the wound. Successfully webs boa again. Just lay her right back down. She's more comfortable that way. Boa does have an initiative check not to fall off. Passing. And we'll go into the next activation. So the Goliath Stimmer will group activate with Ashok here. Ashok first is going to stand up and shoot point blank into Hypnos, or will he? Scoring an awesome miss from point blank range. Moving right on into the Stimmer. Is he going to charge? He's going to charge through this mass of people, successfully making his charge. Somehow standing on his fallen brothers, but we won't question that. And doing his 7 disgusting attacks. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on 3s. Oh, only 1 wound. So, oh, that stands me up too. What you're saying is that the least lucky Dalak ganger, Lampsey, now has a 6-up save. He wouldn't have gotten a 6-up save anyway. He only had frack armor. So, anyway, injury die. It's only a flesh wound. It's only a flesh wound. Lampsey is still alive against a Goliath Stimmer. No one is more surprised by this fact than Lampsey.
He's been shot by grenades.
Lampsey's been having a really bad game, but he is going to try and butt stroke the Goliath, who is down to 1 wound. No. Brave Lampsey. Brave Lampsey. Alright. Moving on. Let's see if we have any more activations.
I think that's everything.
Yeah, I think we've come to the end of round 5. Things are getting pretty close at this point. So, cool checks being rolled. Kinos is good. Over here for the brave Hypnos. Hypnos says bye. See ya. That's not a good look for Dalak. Lampsey, who has survived around with a Stimmer, watched his champion go away. Is Lampsey going to hang out? Lampsey is going to hang out, surprisingly.
Lampsey deserves to be upgraded.
Yeah, Lampsey's very brave. Not very bright, but very brave. All right, and that leads us into round number 6. Scratch that. We got to do cool checks. So starting first with the Goliath leader, Marduk. Marduk is barely good. I saw that too, and I got excited. Boa is now outside the 12-inch range and webbed. Boa says goodbye. Bye-bye. Pretty impressive for someone who's webbed. Over here, these guys are all within the 12 inches from Marduk, so they don't care. So now we go into round 6, and it's getting pretty ugly over here. Alright, we're going to roll for priority. Goliath get a 2, Dalak get a 5, so that is a big one. We are going to immediately retreat with Lampsey because he wants none of this. So Lampsey doing his initiative check, getting a 3, which is a failure. He's not going to get away. And the Goliath Stimmer getting a free attack on an initiative check. Yep, 1 initiative check first. That's a 1, that's a failure. And then Lampsey is going to just try it all again because it's a simple action. Also failed, so you get another initiative check, succeeding this time and getting your 3 attacks from the Goliath Stimmer. Lampsey, you tried. Well, I mean, looking good actually. Goliath Stimmer does wound, cuts right through flak armor, And down goes Lampsey. Critically injured, but you can't coup de grace me because it wasn't your activation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that sucked. Alright. Goliath activation. So down here we have an activation from the Stimmer. He immediately coup de grace Lampsey. And then he has a move action he can do as well. Is he going to go upstairs?
Yeah.
Alright. So he comes upstairs. Poor Lampsey. He tried so hard. Lampsey gets a 55, which is not good for Lampsey. So Lampsey rolled off captured. So we'll have to see if Lampsey's captured. We'll set him to the side, and we'll see later. So down here we have an activation from Kinos. Moves up 3, up the ladder 5, 1 more inch, over 3, and is going to jump down. Doing an initiative check and failing, falling on his back, taking a strength 3 hit, failing to injure him. That is the last activation. We'll do some movements and everything over here as the Goliath swarm the remaining Delac member who is flat on his back in with the Big Mech. Alright, so wrapping up turn 6, Goliath all kind of rushed forward. We got a couple staying down here trying to help the injured champion get back up. Stimmer is on his way in. The leader, Marduk, is on his way in. The remaining Delac ganger hanging out on his back, not having a great day. And we're going to roll bottle checks at the end of the round. So for Kinos is still here. Kinos has not run away. Kinos is doing great. We're going to roll for Marduk, and if Marduk passes, everyone over there is good. Marduk did pass. So now we go into round number, is this 7? I think this is 7.
Like that.
Injury die being rolled, recovery test being rolled for the downed fighter. He stays down, seriously injured. That's like 3 turns in a row he's remained down. Apparently he's had a bad day. Alright, we have a priority roll. So Delac will win the priority with the web gun going straight into the activation. We'll activate and fire the web gun into Marduk because why not? Does hit. Also knocks him down. We have to roll an ammo check. Can't injure the robot at this point. Does not web him though. So he is just knocked down and pinned. And we go into the next activation, which is going to be Ashok, who is going to immediately turn and fire down into the Delac ganger, trying to kill Kinos. And in this game, does score 3 hits with his bolter. Kinos is wishing that he'd withdrawn at this point. Only wounds twice, only. Rolling 4 injury dice because the bolter is damaged 2. And he goes down with 3 flesh wounds, which takes him out of action. So we go straight into rolling. That delivers the victory ultimately for the Marauders, the Goliath. And injury die is 22, so he's just knocked out. Bolter round to the head, and he just takes a nap. That's a loss. We do have to check now for the poor, unfortunate, what's his name again? I don't remember. That is Lampsey, who has had nothing but bad luck so far. Rolling off to see if he's captured. Getting a 4, but it's at a minus.
-2, I believe.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a d6. Alright, we'll see what that means. So, Marduk's Marauders did play Cut Off the Head intrigue of their intrigues, and from that they gain 4 rep for taking out both champions and leader at the end of the battle. None of the intrigues for Delac were accomplished, leaving Marduk's Marauders pulling a lot of rep off this battle. So we do have a d66 roll for Enlil as he succumbed to his injuries at the end of the battle. He rolled a 36, which is him going into convalescence, so no biggie. So these 4 fighters from Marduk's Marauders, including Marduk, made it into the vault. And they will get D6 times 10 credits each. So rolling that.
60,
well, that's a number.
90.
That's 90 credits. So they will get 90 credits from the scenario. Since we're doing this here, they got an additional D6 times 10 for their hideout. Getting another 50 credits. So they're up to 140 credits. And lastly, on a D6 roll of 6+, they get a free juve. For the Delok, they got 0 credits out of that. They will get D6 times 10, so they'll get 10 credits from their hangout. Delok are not doing super great in this round, and we've already tiled.
So that was really exciting game. There's a lot of back and forth on this one, with the victory going firmly with the Goliath. Their high toughness really came into play here, with them shrugging off a lot of House Delok's attacks. The Delok coming out of this with only 1 rep and 10 credits. Their MVP in this was Kino with his Weber, which pretty much single-handedly held the flank for several turns. With a bit more luck, he might have even taken out the Goliath game leader. The Goliath came out of this game with 140 credits and 6 rep. MVP for the Goliath has to be Ashok, who was sniping gangers left and right with his bolt gun. It was really kind of ridiculous. But that's all for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.